Diversity is a major issue in the workplace today. According to Merriam-Webster, diversity is defined as the inclusion of different types of people as people of different races and cultures in a group or organization. Many factors lead to diversity in the workplace, such as race, gender, age, sexual preference, disabilities, weight, different generations, and diversity of thought. There are two types of diversity: surface level diversity and deep level diversity. Surface level diversity is based off demographics and is the differences among group members in overt and observable biological characteristics that are typically reflected in physical features, including age, gender, race, and ethnicity. Deep level diversity is based off of psychological aspects and is differences among members' deeper attitudes, beliefs, and values. Information about these factors can be communicated only through extended individual interactions.
In the workplace, women continue to be underrepresented in management and leadership. Women make up about half of the entire workforce. Women still have to deal with pay gaps, implicit bias, and sexual harassment and assault. Women and men are hired at about the same rate for entry-level positions, but top leadership positions are almost exclusively white males. 6% of CEOs of Fortune 500 companies are women. About 37% of women believe that women are underrepresented in leadership because of male-centered organizations. Only 12% of women had early aspirations of leading a company. On average, women become CEOs by the age of 50 compared to men who become CEOs by the age of 46. Many women in leadership positions who are qualified have fallen off the glass cliff. The glass cliff is a term used for when a woman takes a risky assignment and fails. They reinforce stereotypes of women in the workforce. Organizations that value gender diversity financially outperform those who do not. In organizations with more women, both men and women have more job satisfaction, more dedication to the organization, and feel their work is more meaningful. In one study, 65% of women did not realize they could be CEO until someone told them they could. 16% of women realized they could be CEO when they reached a high level. 12% of women had wanted the CEO position for a long time, and 7% of women never actually wanted to be CEO.
The Institute for Diversity and Ethics in Sport, also known as TIDES, emphasizes diversity, community service, and sport and social issues. TIDES also serves as a resource for issues related to gender and race in amateur, collegiate, and professional sports. Each year, TIDE gives racial and gender report cards to organizations in the sport industry, such as the NBA and the MLS. This report card is an assessment of hiring practices in coaching and sport management in professional and collegiate sport. The NBA received an A for racial hiring practices and a B for gender hiring practice for an overall grade of an A minus. The NBA has a significantly higher grade than each of the other professional men's leagues.
According to the Sports Business Journal article, On the Air, on the Rise, the WNBA has helped a lot with gender acceptance in basketball. However, the biggest gains for women have been as courtside and sideline reporters. Only a small number of women work as full-time analysts for the NBA women broadcasters, and analysts are held to a higher standard and mistakes have a larger impact. Female broadcasters in male-dominated sports still have to fight through misguided stereotypes until they are seen for their work and not just being a woman. According to the Sports Business Journal article, Cavs, other look to add diversity post, the NBA hired the first ever Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer, Arias Stewart. This led to the Cleveland Cavaliers to look to hire a Vice President of Inclusion and Engagement. This job only consists of dealing with diversity 100% of the time. This hiring position will help the Cavs and should inspire the league and other teams to follow along and get this movement going. Diversity is an issue that is constantly being dealt with in the sport industry. The NHL took a step into growing women in hockey this year in the 2018 NHL All-Star Game in Tampa, Florida. During the skills competition, 3 women from the USA women's ice hockey team, Hillary Knight, Hannah Brandt, and Megan Duggan, demonstrated to the men how the skills challenges will work. Hillary Knight is one of, if not, the leading role model for young girls who want to play hockey. She has practiced with the Anaheim Ducks, and now she is on the ice with all the best superstars in the NHL. Knight showed the men how the accuracy shooting works. You get a pass and must hit 4 targets as fast as you can. If her time were to count, she would have finished in 3rd place over superstars like Sidney Crosby and Steven Stamkos. The NHL is trying to find more events to highlight the women's team and how much of an impact they have on young girls. The NHL is always in talks with USA Hockey and Hockey Canada. Susan Koenig, NHL Senior Vice President of Business Affairs Integrated Marketing, is doing everything she can to help the women's hockey team showcase their skills on the professional level of the NHL.
Kay Koplovitz had a big mark in the sport and the media world, and she was usually the only woman in the room. She was just trying to do her job and did not think much about it. She has been trying to help women make their own mark, specifically in the technology field. She started Springboard Enterprises in 2000, which raises money for women in technology. It has raised $8 billion so far. Springboard Enterprises has since expanded into media tech, financial tech, cybersecurity, and fashion tech. The 3 biggest cultural challenges in the workplace are unconscious bias, organizational stereotypes, and role models. All 3 of these play a factor in gender diversity. Unconscious bias is our brain telling us that we feel safe with people who look, think, and act similar to us. Our brains make snap decisions about who we prefer and who we avoid. Unconscious bias is the main reason that organizations lack diversity and lack innovation. Our workshop will focus on unconscious bias.